welcome to this episode of the Gunman Raw. So today we've got a Toyota Camry. We're painting down the side, we're doing the bonnet and just door handles, sill cover, and also the rear bumper there. So this door handle here is actually off another job, but either way, let's get straight into it. So obviously prep work and masking has all been done, and I'm just ready to tack rag it, and then we'll just, I'll be taking you guys through just the paintwork, base coat and clear coat stage for this one. I might even split the video up into two, a base coat and then a clear coat stage, but I'll just play that one by ear. See how we go. So this bonnet here is actually just a blend. Although it was the panel that took the most amount of time for me to prep up out of all of them. I know it's just a blend, but I still don't like painting over stone chips, and there was actually a big patch of rust there. There was a big patch of rust there, so I actually primed this one up myself yesterday because the apprentice was away. However, unfortunately, I was forced to use a light grey primer because, well, that's all we've got. Something there, I might give that a scuff off. I'm always checking over my prep work to make sure I haven't missed something, and there's a little bit of a shiny spot there, which I may as well pick that up while I see it. And there's something here. I reckon that's something on top of the panel. That's alright. Gotta love those grippy pads, those 1000 grip pads. They're really good for stuff like that. So I've still been using my microfiber pads, cloths for prep sole stage. Obviously already done that. Now the side of this car has actually already been painted before, down the back there and the rear bumper, and then the front is original paint. So my color was actually closer to the front, which is what I want. Because this here, you can see someone's already painted that. I can even tell from the prep work that the back here is a little bit too yellow, and then it kind of up here, I don't know if you can see that, but it lightens up a little bit. So yeah, I've always matched to the original paint. You know, that just because someone else has painted it the wrong color, I should try not to. I should try to match it to the original paint. That way there's more original, like proper colour on the car, you know what I mean? But just give it a really good tack rag down. This is the last chance to stop any bits of dust. Well, I mean, we will give it a tack rag down, maybe after base coat, but sometimes I try to avoid it because you can end up making it worse. We'll see how we go. I'm actually going to use some base coat blender on this job too. That's basically like a transparent coat of base coat that just helps the blend, helps you see your blend. I don't use it on most colors, but honestly this one I probably wouldn't need it on, but for what it's worth. Did actually get scored a little cut through on this bumper, so I'll just puff a tiny bit of colour there, but most of this bumper is going to be a blend. You can see there again, they're different colours, so I think I will put a bit of colour over there just so that they look the same, but for the most part I'm just going to be putting a little bit of colour over this end. Moving that respirator on. Stay there. said, this part is actually off another car. It's for one of the guys that works there. It's going silver. So it's just a bit of 1K plastic primer. He bought a new handle. It's for his son's car. $11, mate. It's like a Hyundai or something like that. You can't, like, that's what we were saying, man. You couldn't even get like a second-hand one that cheap. By the time you pay the wrecker to pull it off, you know, it's probably $30. You get a second-hand one for $30, you know. So this is a Basecoat blender. I'll probably put colour up here anyway because I have to put it up there. So yeah, you only really need this where you're not going to be putting your colour. A little bit of overlap is good, but you don't need too much overlap. This gun here reminds me of the Kiwami. There's a relatively new gun out. I mean, it's been around, probably been around for a year now, to be honest. But yeah, there's a gun, an I-water called the Kiwami. It looks pretty cool. A budget spec spray gun, but actually looks reasonable. But on the other hand, I've had some guy from Canada. He used it twice, and he was trying to sell it to me, and I'm like, hold on. If you only use it twice and you want to get rid of it, it can't be that good. So, I don't know. Let us know. If you've got a Kiwami and you speak highly of it or lowly of it, let me know if you think it's even worth me getting one to do a review on. Covering pretty good, as you would expect. It's a fine metallic. That's what happens most of the time with the fine metallics. They cover pretty well. That because there's a big scratch there, but now to fix it I've got to get dust all over the bloody Gunny, what are you doing, mate? Unacceptable. I'm just using this as a ground coat because it's going silver, so it's going to be better than going over black anyway. Well, I'm going to have to fix that little bit on the guard there. But as I said before, put a bit of colour over there because you can see they're a fair bit out. The colour was pretty bad on them. And then I've got up a little bit of colour over there. But I don't want any colour out there because it's just a blend. And I'm going to have to fix that scratch in the guard. That's a pain in the ass. Anyway, I'll turn the cam off and I'll probably turn it back on to show you how I fix it. But I'll turn it off while I'm drying the base coat down. Alright, let's fix this. Yep, we're recording. Let's fix this. What a pain in the ass. I swear I totally missed that until I got a coat of colour over it. It stood out. Either way, it's not going to be too hard of a job to fix. Using my favourite UV filler. I've been using this stuff for 3 months and I'm not even halfway through because these ones here, they're only like 250 gram ones, so they're only sort of like a quarter full anyway. Because I guess a big part of it is that you put back what you don't use. But yes, it's no secret that I'm a big fan of this UV filler. To be careful how you sand it because it does go very, very hard. That's why I say it's actually very important that you do use a razor blade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're done. So hopefully we're not going to create too much dust here. My detailer will be annoyed otherwise. That's what I like to do, like bend the blade so your edges don't dig in. Some people like scratch the edges off or something and that works for them, I guess, but I don't know, just bend it and it works for me. That's got most of the profile down. Another thing you got to be careful of is like not ripping the base coat because it's still relatively fresh. Alright. I got some 500 and some 800. So 500 to start off with and then 800 to smooth it out so that you don't get sanding scratches. That was a funny one. A guy, one of the old guys I used to work with had like an imperfection in his base coat and we just moved over to water and he's just so used to solvent that when something goes wrong he'll just get his like wet sanding bucket. And he's gone and done that with the water base. that was funny. Poor guy. There was a few high spots there still, so scrape them down a bit. But this is what you see about the base coat. It kind of clogs up the sandpaper a bit, so that's another reason it's a bit of a pain in the ass. To smooth it down, and Gunny saved the day. I think that's about it. That feels pretty good. Might do with a little bit more sanding there. You do have to be careful you're not left with a ripple there. Once you've done your sanding, you've got to make sure it's sort of feathered out nicely, you know. That feels pretty good. Alright, I'll put this stuff back and we'll give it a tack rag anyway. I'll just dump it on my trolley for now. I guess little things like this is why some people like this channel better, because you're gonna learn from the mistakes more so than, like, that's when you learn, isn't it? If everything just goes perfect all the time, you're probably not learning anything, you know? It looks like we didn't do too bad with the dust. I'm blending down here. I actually forgot to put that Basecoat blender down there, so I'll put it down on this coat. Which gun should I use for clear? I don't know. Too many good guns to choose from. I'll put you up there again for a second. Yeah, I'm thinking between my DB1 with the 1.3. I think that's what it's going to be. I definitely am planning on revisiting the Iwata Supernova, but I'm not sure this is the right job for it. I just think they use too much paint. Ultimately, I think I'll be able to get those settings a bit better for the Supernova, but I just find them absolute cannon. PSI, wind that fluid in by half a turn. You may have noticed that I didn't go as heavy on the first coat as I do sometimes. That was just because I saw how well it was covering. And that's what my first coat's usually about, just coverage. You get your sort of 80+% covered and then get the effect right. That looks a bit funky, but it should dry down fine. But yeah, you can see here where my tack rag, and that's not actually the overspray of the metallic. It's your own metallic. That's not the dust from when I was sanding. That's your own metallic. So I'm actually kind of not looking forward to using this EnviroBase in summer. I've got a feeling it's going to be somewhat of a nightmare. It's starting to warm up now. I don't even have the burner on today, so it's about 30 degrees in here without the burner on. So I'm really not looking forward to using this paint when it's sort of above 30, 35. I'll dry that down and I'll see you guys here when we're ready for the final coat of base coat. So that's it after the base coat drying down. It's looking pretty nice. I can't see any mottle through that bonnet. The blend's looking pretty good there. As you can see, I blended it down to that bumper. Colour down most of the side. And a blend up to the boot lid there. Colour down on the sill cover there. Door handles. And again, as I said, this bumper was a blend, but we did have to put a little bit of colour there and here. But anyway, hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, be sure to give us a big thumbs up. Go check out some merchandise if you would like to support the channel. There's also links to alternate video hosting sites, so be sure to go and check them out. And until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.